This is the Golden Gate. It's the east gate. It's known as the Mercy Gate to Jerusalem. As you can tell, it's been sealed up for a long, long time.
For centuries it stands there, motionless, sealed like a forgotten monument. But those who know the scriptures understand, this is no ordinary gate. This is the Golden Gate, also known as the Eastern Gate, and it is not sealed merely with stones. It is sealed with a mystery that spans millennia. From afar it appears to be just another piece of Jerusalem's wall. But for those who await the return of the Messiah, it is a prophetic clock, a silent sign, a promise yet to be fulfilled. With each generation, eyes turn to it with reverence and hope. This gate, located on the eastern side of the ancient city, is directly aligned with the Mount of Olives, the same mount where, according to the Bible, Jesus ascended to heaven, and the same place where the prophets said he would return. And it is here that prophecy and archaeology intersect. According to the book of Ezekiel in chapter 44, God himself entered through this gate in ancient times, and for that reason, it was to remain sealed. In his words, "This gate shall remain shut. It shall not be opened. No one shall enter through it, because the Lord, the God of Israel, has entered through it. Therefore it shall remain shut." The prophecy is clear. The gate was sealed because of the holiness of God's presence. And at the heart of this promise lies a powerful truth. What God has touched, man cannot profane. But the question that lingers in the air is, will God still use this same path to return? Let us go back more than 2,000 years in time. Jerusalem is in celebration. A man approaches riding on a donkey, while the people acclaim him with palm branches. Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. It is Jesus entering the city during the Passover feast. Many scholars believe he would have used the very Golden Gate for this triumphal entry, fulfilling the prophecy of Zechariah. "Behold, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey." But few knew that this king, acclaimed by the crowd, would soon be crucified. The Messiah had indeed entered, but not to take the throne, rather to take the cross. His mission was not political, it was eternal. He came to die and rise again. And when he ascended to heaven, he did so from the Mount of Olives. The angels who witnessed the scene said to the disciples, "This Jesus, who was taken up from you into heaven, will come in the same way as you saw him go." This brings us back to the gate. For if he ascended from the Mount of Olives and promised to return by the same path, then the direction is already set. The next entry will be from the east, and the gate that stands before this mount, it is precisely the Golden Gate. Centuries later, something curious happens. In the year 1541, the Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent orders the gate to be sealed with stones. Not only that, he commands a Muslim cemetery to be built right in front of the entrance. Many believe the Sultan wanted to prevent the entry of the Jewish Messiah based on the prophecy that the Anointed One would come through that gate. And since a Jewish priest could not become ritually impure by crossing through graves, they thought that with stones and bones, they could thwart God's plan. But what Suleiman did not know, and what many still ignore, is that human plans cannot frustrate what God has already decreed. For even sealed, the Golden Gate has never ceased to look directly toward the place from which the King will come. And this is the beauty of this prophecy. The more men try to prevent it, the stronger the promise becomes. For no wall can withstand the touch of the eternal. And now we come to our days. After nearly 5 centuries of being sealed, something has begun to happen. Recent images, amateur videos, and reports from visitors show something strange. Small cracks have started to appear in the stones. Fragments of the wall have fallen. In 2018, part of the eastern wall collapsed. Experts attributed it to erosion, soil instability, or the passage of time. But for those who are attentive to the scriptures, this is not merely natural wear. It is a sign, a preparation, an almost imperceptible yet prophetic movement. For the Bible says that when the Messiah returns, his feet will touch the Mount of Olives, and there will be an earthquake so great that the mount will split in two. Imagine the impact of that event on the soil of Jerusalem. Imagine the stones of the Golden Gate, sealed by men, beginning to tremble before the touch of God. Imagine the human seal being broken by the divine breath. Ezekiel saw this scene in spirit. Zechariah prophesied about it. John described in Revelation the return of Christ as a moment when every eye will see him. And that is why even when closed, the Golden Gate speaks. It does not need to move to proclaim. Its silence is a shout. It is waiting, like a stone sentinel awaiting the king who will come. And the world around it is in turmoil. The wars, the rumors of wars, the earthquakes, the moral crises, the spiritual coldness, all these are echoes of Jesus' words in Matthew 24. He said, "When you see all these things, know that it is near at the very gates." And what gates could these be if not those of the east? It is as if God were whispering to the world, "Look at Jerusalem, observe the gate, pay attention to the signs." For every crack, every tremor, every fragment that falls reminds us that the promise is still alive and that the time is being fulfilled. While the world is distracted by 1,000 voices, there is a subtle invitation for those with spiritual ears to watch. Jesus said we should be like the wise virgins, with lamps lit awaiting the bridegroom, ready for the encounter. And this waiting is not passive. It is vigilant. It is full of faith. The Golden Gate teaches us to wait, to believe in the invisible, to remember that no matter how many centuries pass, what God has said will come to pass. Even if it seems delayed, even if the world mocks, even if the gate remains closed, the King will come, and when he comes, no stone will remain upon another. Today we are like the watchmen on the walls of Jerusalem. Isaiah 62:6 says, "On your walls, O Jerusalem, I have set watchmen. All the day and all the night they shall never be silent." That is our mission, to watch, to pray, to proclaim, to not let the dust of time cover the promises of heaven. But perhaps you are wondering, if the Golden Gate has not yet opened, if the signs are still subtle, what does this change in my life today? The answer is everything. For waiting for the Messiah is not just about a future event. It is about how we live now, while we wait. The gate that is sealed in Jerusalem is a mirror of the gate of our heart. And that gate, yes, must be open. Jesus said, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens, I will come in and dine with him." Revelation 3:20. There is a profound spiritual connection between the gate that awaits the return of the King and the heart that must be prepared to receive him. Just as the Golden Gate awaits to be opened by the one who has authority, our inner being also needs to be prepared, purified, sensitive to the steps of the one who approaches. While many seek grandiose signs, lights in the sky or supernatural phenomena, God continues to speak through the small cracks, the falling stones, the silent prayers, the hearts awake in vigilance. And it is in these small movements that the great plans are revealed. Let us return to the Mount of Olives, the perfect vantage point for the Golden Gate. It was there that Jesus wept for Jerusalem, foreseeing its destruction. It was there that he prayed, sweating drops of blood on the eve of the crucifixion. And it will be there that his feet will touch the ground again, as Zechariah 14:4 says, "On that day his feet shall stand on the Mount of Olives, which lies before Jerusalem on the east." The same place, the same path, the same glory. That is why many believe that the opening of the Golden Gate will not be done by human hands or political decrees, but by the very movement of Christ's glorious coming. In Revelation 19, John describes the return of Jesus as a warrior riding a white horse, with eyes like flames of fire, and on his thigh a name, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. This scene is not a metaphor. It is the fulfillment of the hope that pulses in the hearts of those who believe. And when he comes, he will pass through the gate. The wall will not be an obstacle, but a witness. The earth will split, the heavens will tear open, and what today seems sealed will become a passage. The gate that was closed out of fear, superstition, ignorance, or politics will be broken by the power of the promise. Perhaps that is why the stones are beginning to move. Perhaps that is why the world is shaken. Perhaps that is why so many are being spiritually awakened in these last times. There is a restlessness in the air. Something is changing. The celestial clock continues to turn, even if natural eyes do not perceive it. And so the question remains, what should we do until then? We must wait as those who keep watch at dawn, as those who love and yearn, as those who know the word and take it seriously. We must be attentive, with our eyes on the scriptures and our hearts in the heavens. We must live with holiness, compassion, and living faith. Waiting for the Messiah is not a passive wait. It is an active vigil. It is loving our neighbor. It is crying out for justice. It is proclaiming the gospel with boldness. It is not being contaminated by the spirit of this age. It is keeping the lamp lit, like the wise virgins who await the bridegroom at midnight. And even if the world calls us fools for believing in such an ancient promise, we will not waver, for the signs are everywhere, and the gate, the silent and sealed golden gate, remains there as an eternal reminder that the King will come. When that happens, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. Those who mocked will tremble. Those who waited will rejoice. Those who kept watch will enter with him. Today the news may not mention the Golden Gate. The powerful of this world may never visit it. Tourists take pictures but do not understand what they see. And yet, this stone gate is the most important on all the earth, for it will be the stage for the fulfillment of the most glorious promise in human history, the return of Jesus Christ. We do not know the day, we do not know the hour, but we know the path. And the path passes through Jerusalem, through the east, through the Mount of Olives, through the gate that was sealed, but will never be forgotten. In the meantime, let our eyes remain steadfast. Let our faith not waver. Let our hands continue serving and our hearts continue believing. For even if the signs seem small to the world's eyes, for the children of God, every detail is a reminder. He is coming. And as the last book of the Bible concludes, which is also our deepest cry, "Come, Lord Jesus,"